Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on Atlantic Education in Atlantic Canada by Chalo Overseas. My name is Rizwan, and I am a student recruitment consultant with Chalo Overseas. And will be with me is my manager, Mrs. Shashi Shashikant, who will be the co-host.
Everyone. My name is Shashi, and I will be walking you through the education in Atlantic Canada and eventually how one could stay there back. So, we'll discuss more in this session.
So let me give you a brief introduction about Chalo Overseas. Chalo Overseas is one of the premium overseas education consultancies in India and brainchild of an Indo-Canadian whose aim is to fulfill the dreams of countless young students who wish to proceed to study abroad. So this is a young and energetic organization, thrives on honesty and transparency, and combines the zeal to help students and the need to bring out positivity change in the industry to provide a service student can happily rely on. The topics that we are going to cover in this webinar are as follows. So first is the team introduction, second is the geography of Atlantic Canada, why study in Atlantic Canada, undergraduate and graduate application process, immigration process, careers in Atlantic Canada. And at the end of the webinar, we shall have a Q&A session where we will answer all of the queries. Great. So this is our core team who form the heart and soul of Chalo Overseas. So we have our director, Jal Elati. We have our manager, strategy and operations, Ms. Shashi Shashikant, who's the co-host for the webinar today. We have Rohita and Shravan, who are the education consultants in Chalo Overseas. We have Sakshi, uh, Satwinder Khalsa, education and marketing consultant, and we have Garima, who is a social media manager. Graphical representation of Atlantic Canada. Spread over 9.985 million square kilometers, Canada is the second largest country in the world in terms of land area. Furthermore, this country is divided into 10 provinces and 3 territories. Out of these, 4 provinces, namely New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island, are categorized as Atlantic Canada. So you can see the image where there's blue highlighted. Things to know about Atlantic Canada. The total population of these provinces, like New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, was 2.4 million as of 2016, as comprised 6.6% of the total Canadian population. The official languages of Atlantic Canada are English and French. There are 2 time zones in Atlantic Canada. One is Newfoundland Standard Time and Atlantic Standard Time. Most important question, why study in Atlantic Canada? The increasing trend towards opting Atlantic Canada as a destination for international education by students is due to various incredible reasons. So the major reasons are, number one is blooming industries. The geographical location and abundance of natural resources are helping some industries to bloom in Atlantic Canada. Hence, students are able to find newer and greater opportunities in the sectors like natural resources, mining, fishing, farming, and forestry. Number two goes to vibrant startup culture. Another amazing aspect of for students looking for a great future in Atlantic Canada is the vibrant startup culture that is being nurtured with the help of regional incubators and accelerators. Number three goes to cultural diversity. One of the most important indicators for a safe and developed international study destination is having a multicultural and inclusive society. The Atlantic Canada is home for people belonging over 200 ethnicities hailing from around 168 countries who speak a combined language of combined number of 100 languages. So this region is also known for its delicious cuisines, especially for its seafood. Number four goes to excellent immigration programs. For most of the students who travel abroad for studies, it is crucial that they think of their future aspects and future prospects. So this future feels secured only when the host country allows you to stay back and consider the land as a new home with open arms. For this, Atlantic Canada has a brilliant program called the Atlantic Immigration Program. Next slide. Over to the prominent universities in Atlantic Canada. So, there are some of the universities and colleges that we have listed out, which are very popular in these provinces. So, Newfoundland and Labrador has Memorial University and Newfoundland College of Atlantic, Newfoundland College of North Atlantic. And in New Brunswick, there are Mount Allison University, University of New Brunswick, St. Thomas University, Quentin College. In Nova Scotia, you have pretty many. Like there are many compared to other provinces. So number one goes to Acadia University, Cape Breton University, then Dalhousie University, University of King's College, Mount St. Vincent University, Nova Scotia College of Arts and Design University, Keighley University, St. Francis Xavier University, St. Mary's University. And Prince Edward Island has two. One is University of Prince Edward Island and Holland University. Most important process. So the application process, right? For the undergraduate application process or a graduate application process, you can see that like Atlantic Canada is among the most affordable destinations for international students. The average tuition fee is comparatively less if you compare with other provinces in Canada, right? Newfoundland and Labrador's average tuition fee is 11,983 CAD. You can just imagine the kind of money that we are saving when we are choosing Atlantic Canada, right? New Brunswick is 16,744 CAD, Canadian dollars, and Nova Scotia's average tuition fee is 19,639 CAD. Prince Edward Island has average tuition fee cost of 21,093 CAD. So this depends completely on the university to from university to university and college to college. And the application requirements. We are going to learn about the general application requirements that we will need when we are choosing to apply to these universities or college, right? So the basic requirements are official high school transcripts. This is the these are the basic requirements. Number two is English proficiency. So when we are opting to go to Canada, we need to prove an English proficiency. So that is IELTS. For admission process, there are different English proficiency that needs to be that are required. But for the visa purpose, IELTS is the only language proficiency exam that's going to be considered for the student direct stream for the visa process especially. So other admission documents may be required. It will be completely dependent on the university and the college that you're choosing to apply for, right? And the next thing is transcripts of the previous and the secondary study, like your class 12, class 10. We can say that. So the first thing is transcripts of the higher education. The next can be of your transcripts of the second, class 12. The third thing can be transcripts of class 10. So these are some of the basic requirements that will be applicable for the admissions. My co-host Shashi will take over. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shashi.
Thank you, Rizwan. Thanks for the excellent intro there. Let me give a quick background about myself before we move with the presentation. My name is Shashi, and I work with Chalo as a manager here. And I actually did my own business for 15 years as an entrepreneur before I moved to Canada as a student. I did my post graduation in human resources and also had an opportunity to live there, work there, and eventually also work with the Government of Canada IRCC program for more than a decade. So back here to assist students. So glad to meet you all here. So Atlantic provinces gives you a lot of option in terms of high quality education. And Atlantic provinces are not really looked by student because I think all that they'd have to do is like go back to Ontario to pursue their studies. However, this webinar is to give you an insight as to what is available in the Atlantic provinces. How is it going to help you out if you eventually plan to immigrate to Canada is what is our discussion today. So Atlantic provinces, as Rizwan just mentioned some time back, has an affordable tuition fees. In addition to that, you might also want to know there's a lot of scholarships offered by the provinces here. Some provinces, some universities work with the federal government and the provincial government, and they also have additional scholarship in the belt, in addition to their own university scholarships that they offer. So just to name a few, I think what you see from the slide is some of the scholars, some of these programs, colleges give you an excellent scholarship starting from 2,000 Canadian dollars, and some of the times that you would get scholarship up to 20,000, a full scholarship as well. So what is required for you to apply for this scholarship is, of course, scholarships are of different categories. The first category is an academic merit scholarship. So if you've got an excellent percentage in your undergraduation, probably that could help you out in obtaining this scholarship there in Canada. And besides that, if somebody also requires scholarship, it's also based on the need-based scholarship is also there. What's more important for you as a student is to start exploring what scholarships are available for you. And this is specifically for undergraduate program that I'm talking about. So the similar scholarships is also available for one who wants to take up a postgraduate study. This is just to name a few, but there are many, many scholarships. So the best way to know what scholarship is available is to look at the individual university or the college website and look into what scholarships are offered specifically for international students. Okay. These are just to name a few, as I mentioned before. So take a minute to look at this, look at the deadlines and to what extent the scholarship is available for students. Even if you can get, like, say, let's assume like 15,000, 20,000 Canadian dollars, still you can save a lot of money in terms of, savings. What you might also notice it is the deadline. So look at it, most of the scholarship has the March 1st as the deadline. And this is keeping in mind the September intake or the fall 2022 intake. So guys, like if you're planning to apply to Atlantic Canada, this is the right time. So you might want to apply as soon as possible for September 2022. And what is different from scholarship application and a regular application is sometimes scholarship is also included as a part of your regular application process. Sometimes you might have to write a separate statement of purpose to say why you need the scholarship and why do you think you're a good fit. So this is something that you might want to start working now. So it's almost going to be the end of January, folks. So you start now, you'd be eligible to apply to the universities with the scholarship. And the highest that's given so far here is like besides Acadia University of New Brunswick also gives you an entrance scholarship of up to 52,000 Canadian dollars. And I think that's amazing for an international student to study there or think about Atlantic provinces as one of the study destination choices. Now, what's the process for a postgraduate application process? So it's the similar lines as Rizwan spoke some time back. Have a look at the tuition fee, folks. It is like very, very, very reasonable when compared to the other provinces in Canada. So if you look at Newfoundland and Labrador, it is as less as $3,000 onwards and less than 5,000. So again, it's like amazing. When you convert it into Indian rupees, it's definitely affordable to most of us. And New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, you have an idea of what is the cost, and this is per year. And in addition to this, of course, you would have your living expenses cost as well. But the tuition fee is something that has to be shown during your visa process, and you would have to pay this tuition fee upfront to the colleges. So It's important that it is affordable for you. So have a look at that, and I think it's a great opportunity here. And again, in on the same lines, what are the admission requirements? It differs or varies from college to college. The first thing is the official high school transcript is something they would need. Your post secondary transcripts, your undergraduate degree transcripts would also help. Proof of language proficiency, as Rizwan mentioned, for IELTS, Duolingo. You can take any of the language tests to know that you have a good language skills. GRE or GMAT, it is not compulsory. Again, it depends on the colleges that you're pursuing your program, and other necessary documents as required, like a statement of purpose or letter of recommendation, or even a scholarship application. So other requirements as needed. But one of the things that you might want to keep in mind is the processing time. So some colleges have deadline, some colleges have a specific deadline, and some have a rolling admissions, which means they accept the applications throughout the year. And some of them have a specific deadline for a scholarship, as we just noticed. So you might want to really start looking into the colleges, narrow down the choices, and so on. And when it comes to masters, there are two programs. One is a regular master's degree, like master's in science, master's in arts, or an MBA program. The other one, alternate, would be a postgraduate study program. Postgraduate study program are also great options to study in Canada. And it can also, most of the time, can also help you out getting a work permit option. Postgraduate are great options. So that's something that I would want you to consider as well. Just to give you an example from my own experience, I went for a 1 year postgraduate study program in human resources. 8 months I studied in Canada, and 4 months I worked in Canada as a part of a study program. So that it gave me, like, the 1 year program also gave me a 4 month of work experience. In fact, the first job I got in Canada was through the college program. The colleges actually have a good network with the local employers, and it's a great opportunity to get a job through the campus. Like, we have a campus placements here in Canada also. There is a good choice of getting placed after you finish your degree. So one of the things that I would also consider when I'm looking for a university is what is the employability percentage in these universities besides the curriculum. Okay, so this is the normal process, like in any case. Let's look at the scholarship. What's available for the postgraduate application? As I mentioned before, international students are eligible for funding opportunities through scholarship, bursaries, awards, prizes based on academic merit or financial need. So scholarship is something that you don't have to return back to the college, right? It is given in recognition of what you've already done. And again, there are many noteworthy scholarships that's available in the Atlantic provinces. A couple is given in here. One is Memorial University of Newfoundland, and I've got different options within the university. So up to $3,000 scholarship you get for post graduation, and the deadline would be June. So the suggestion is to look at the scholarship page of the university to get more information. Besides that, you also have University of Prince Edward Island, and they also have offer a lot of scholarships and awards, to the student. So have a look at that as well. Let's look at some of the fun facts. What do you need to know about Canada? A little bit more. Do you know that Florenceville, Bristol in New Brunswick is also known as the French fry capital of Canada? In fact, McCain Foods, I think many of you would have heard about McCain Foods. It's based out of New Brunswick. One third of the frozen French fries from around the world are made in this particular province. So it's like interesting one. And an interesting fact, it says no point in Nova Scotia is more than 60 kilometers from the sea. How amazing. So you can also imagine, what is the distance that can be covered. Like, it's like so cool. And Nova Scotia is Canada's smallest province after Prince Edward Island. And it has got one of the Canada's fastest growing city, which is Halifax. Nova Scotia is also known for lots of lakes, as you see here, it's like lake seas that you would see everywhere. And it has like 5,400 lakes, folks. So it's a cool one. Some of the other fun fact is NB New Brunswick is home to world's longest covered bridge. That's the Heartland Covered Bridge. Do you know how much, what it covers? It covers 1,282 feet long. Those days building this kind of bridge, that it's like well known for. So New Brunswick is known for bridges, beautiful, beautiful scenery and whatnot, right? And it's also one of the official, one of the places where French is the official language as well. This is the tiniest province of Canada. Guys, totally in Canada, there are 13 provinces and 3 territories. And out of the 13 provinces, Prince Edward Island is the tiniest province, and it's also known as birthplace of Canada. Canada was born here. In fact, in 1864, 23 elected officials gathered at Charlottetown, which is the capital of Prince Edward Island. They just met there to discuss the possibility of uniting 3 maritime jurisdictions that they have. And the historic event of 1864 led to the foundation of Canada. So till now, PEI is known as the birthplace of Canada. And PEI also has Prince Edward Island University that you have. So you might want to explore the options that is available here in this tiniest province, and a very less population as well. So agriculture is most seen here, and so is like potatoes, and lot of greenery here. I don't know if any one of you have seen this. This is called as Hopewell Rocks, and it's actually a sandstone kind of sea cliffs that has been carved over thousands of years. The highest tide that can happen in this particular place is up to 32 to 46 square feet. It's so much of water. It's known for tides. Like New Brunswick, it's also known for tides. It's excellent. Look at how beautiful this is. So this is St. John's. St. John's has one of the most colorful waterfronts in the world. And there are row houses which are all painted in different colors so the ships could see them through the fog. Initially, when I went to Canada as a student, I used to ask people why are all the houses the similar way? Every house is like so similar to the other houses. Unlike India, where you see a colorful buildings, colorful residential places, in Canada, you don't see much. And in fact, St. John's has the colorful houses, folks. Now coming back to how this is going to help you. So if you go to Canada as a student, one of the options for you would be to stay back in Canada with a post-graduation work permit. So when we apply to the universities on your behalf, this is one of the key criteria that we look into, whether you have a post-graduation study work permit offer. So if you're staying in Canada for, say, a 1-year program, you can extend and get a postgraduate work permit for 1 more year. However, if you study for a 2-year program in Canada, you can stay back in Canada for 3 years. So which will be like, totally like 5 years. So this is an excellent opportunity available for international students. So whatever you study there, you also get an opportunity to work there as well. So this is something that we look out for every applicant that we apply, so that you have an opportunity to stay back. But if you're going for a program which is like less than 8 months, then you would not get a work permit. You just study and then you would have to come back. The links that is given in here, folks, will directly take you to the page for immigration, like what are all the different immigration available in Canada. Just to give you in short, like what is express entry visa. So I think many of you, I don't know if you're really aware about express entry visa. It's the fastest and most popular pathway for newcomers to eventually settle in Canada, right? So express entry is based on many factors, such as language test scores, your educational records, a passport, all those requirements need to be met. So express entry is categorized into three categories, basically. So candidates, anybody with a university or a college degree with skilled work experience and moderate level of English and French are ideal candidates to apply for an express entry profile. So what are the 3 main categories? The first one is a federal skilled worker category. So that is called as FSW. And the other one is federal skilled trades. If you're a tradesperson and if you want to immigrate to Canada, then federal skilled trade would be another good option. And the third most popular option is Canadian experience class. It's called as CEC. This is where probably as a student you could probably take advantage of. So Canadian experience class is something that you gain the work experience of working in Canada and then apply for your immigration. Okay, so Atlantic immigration program. So what does this mean? So there are the main three categories. So you can apply to, like, say, once you move there. So I'm just including both immigration and study here. So if you're going as an immigrant, you can apply as a high skilled worker or an intermediate skilled worker, or you could apply as an international graduate. So international graduate program scheme is what I'm going to be talking now. So in general, for you to apply for Atlantic immigration graduate program, you should have a degree, diploma, or any other credential from a publicly funded institution in an Atlantic province. So in other words, you should have studied in any of the Atlantic provinces and have a degree or a diploma. And you should have lived in Atlantic province for at least 16 months in the 2 years program that you go there. And also you should take up a language test such as IELTS, French language test, so that they know that you can communicate in English and French, and also show you can support your family when you come to Canada, or when you're there already in Canada. And if you want to bring your family, this is another option to choose. Work experience is not required for international graduates hired through the Atlantic immigration program. So this is very, very important. Work experience is not mandatory. So if you study there, you can straight away qualify to apply for Atlantic immigration program. Unlike express entry or unlike Canadian experience class, where you'd have to show your work permit. So check canada.ca, which is the official website of the Government of Canada, to know more about the programs. So how can we help? We can help you in getting you admission from one of the Atlantic provinces in Atlantic provinces and specific university or colleges for you from any of the four major Atlantic provinces in Canada. So, which is again Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, and Labrador, Nova Scotia, and another one, right? So, we can get you admission there, and we can help you out with the visa process as well. And eventually, once you study there, take up at least a 16-month program, you automatically can apply for an Atlantic immigration program. This was a pilot project till some time back, till December. Now they've initiated it, and it's going to be like a regular program from March onwards. So this is a great opportunity for you to integrate in Canada much more easily if you're planning to stay back legally in Canada after your education. Yeah, this is just to give you an information. As I said, there could be language tests that you might have to take. So these are some of the options for you to look at. So you could take Canadian English Language Proficiency Index program. It's a self-paced program. You could take up IELTS General if you're applying for an immigration, but if you're applying for a student category, then you apply for an academic. Besides that, you also apply for TEF Canada or TCF Canada, which are French language tests. So knowing French is actually an added advantage. So if any one of you are planning to move to Canada eventually and plan to settle in Canada, maybe you might want to take up one of these tests.
Can careers in Atlantic Canada. So these are the most popular occupations along with average incomes in Atlantic Canada. So if you're a surgeon, you earn around like 3,44,000 CAD per year. This is just an average of the occupations. So you can see the most common occupations, right? Like surgeon, dentist, petroleum engineer, psychiatrist, IT manager, marketing manager, pilot, lawyer, sales manager, business operations managers. So these are the average calculated salaries. So this might differ, but this is considered as the average. Connect with Chalo Overseas, connect with the young and dynamic team that's going to uh, help you study abroad. So please connect with us. I will post out the link on the chat box where you can schedule the free one-on-one counseling session, or you can just open your camera, scan the QR code, and book the counseling session with us. All right. So, and the contact information is given here in the slide. Please note down if you have if you have any queries, you can just give us a call on the given numbers. And if any queries to be answered through email, you can contact us through admissions@chalooverseas.com.